Hello everyone and welcome back to the last video that we'll have for 4.4. We're about to pick up where we left off, but first we'll see what everyone has to say. I shall be interested to hear how Urianger's experience compares to our own. Don't worry about Thancred, so we'll go on to Prelude and Violet. Alize is eager to rendezvous with Urianger. Urianger agreed to meet us at the Rising Stones. If any of the others heard the voice, we'll find out soon enough. Good luck. I should get back to the meeting with the Elder Seatseer, but if there's anything I can do, anything at all, you must let me know, alright? Promise me. Right, let's be on our way.
Urianger! Gods, it's good to see you.
Would that our meeting were under happier circumstances. I judged the voice sufficient cause for concern even before you sent word of its effect on our comrade.
You heard it too, then?
Aye. And all but certainly at the selfsame instant. Alas, pained as I was, I could make little sense of what few words did then reach mine ears.
Who do you think is responsible? Could this be the Scions doing?
That I cannot say. Not when so little is known. Ere I indulge in speculation, I would examine Thancred with mine own eyes.
To Ala Mhigo, then, without further delay.
One other thing. During my visit to the Far East, I observed a strange phenomenon.
Thou referrest, I presume, to the localized reduction in etheric density.
Well, that spares me the trouble of an explanation. Yes, I noted precisely that at two apparently unconnected locations. I take it the phenomenon is not limited to the Far East.
Indeed not. Of late, our agents charged with surveilling the beast tribes have spoken of little else. In every corner of the realm, they tell of places in which the ether hath grown thin. Naturally, my suspicions first turned to primal activity, but the areas thus affected betray no evidence of summoning. I must confess to being quite perplexed.
If the same phenomenon is being observed in multiple locations on opposite sides of the world, we may safely discount regional factors. Needless to say, this warrants further investigation.
Indeed, I shall make it my task to. The voice. It calleth to me once more.
I hear it too.
Only you. Only you.
No! Ishtola! Urianger!
Throw wide the gates.
No! No, this can't be happening! Y'shtola! Urianger! Open your eyes! Open your eyes, I beg you! Say something. Anything! Not again. Please, not again.
That was intense. This is an unprecedented predicament for the Scions, but we must remain strong, the least of us most of all. It cannot be discounted that Mistress Krile has heard the voice as well. I will ask Tatara to send her word of what has come to pass. Confound these old bones, useless as I am, I should have been the one struck down. Ocher, sister, and I will take turns to keep watch over the slumbering Archons. We'll not leave them unattended for even a moment. Didn't the self-same thing happen to Thancred? Who's bloody next? That's a good question. We have spoken earnestly of doing more to ease the senior Scion's burdens, but not under these circumstances, nor less so soon. I only hope I will be equal to the challenge. As a mage, I have some few scholarly acquaintances of my own, and will reach out to them for their insights. It may not be much, but 'tis my own little way of aiding Mistress Alize. Again, I know that some people might find this a little bit annoying, but hey, I want to get my money's worth for these games. Forgive me, that was an unseemly display. It happened before your very eyes, my lady. None here would have behaved any differently. We have borne the two of them to a private chamber, but tell me, is it true that Master Thancred languishes in a like state in Ala Mhigo? I'm afraid so, though given the circumstances, it would seem best to observe them together. I will send word to Lise that he should be brought here. Take heart, my lady, the world is full of scholars and knowledgeable folk of every persuasion. Someone out there is bound to know what ails our comrades, and how it might be cured. Thus will we rouse them, no matter what. That we will, Hori, that we will. But first things first, our comrades will have questions. May I ask that you explain the situation to them? I must attend to a private matter. Oh, I promised I'd visit someone in Limsa Lominsa. He's been waiting at the Maelstrom Command for a while now. Ah, I think I know who it is. You know, you should come along too. I think he'd be glad to see you. And that really was interesting to say the least. So head back to Limsa Lominsa. Yeah, and I think I do know who she's going to go and visit. She did say that she would visit him from time to time. It's little Gabu. We saw him at the end of Heavensward, and I think this might be the first time we've seen him since then. So, yeah, we go upstairs. So, any thoughts on who that mysterious voice is yet? No idea. I have some thoughts, I have some theories. Each one as crazy as the last. But I have to say, things are looking good. They're looking really, really interesting. And I hate to say this, but so far the ending to Stormblood here is shaping up to be a lot more exciting than it was at the end of Heavensward. As an overall game, I liked Heaven's Ward better than Stormblood. That's just my personal thoughts. Maybe it was just the better storyline, the better pacing, but I did like that one better than Stormblood. But I have to say that one thing that really bugged me about Heaven's Ward was the ending for 4.5. With Mistress Alize, are you? She usually visits alone. Still, it'd make a welcome change for the little one. As you probably guessed, it's Gabu we've come to see. The private here will bring him out to us. Ever since the Maelstrom took him in, I tried to visit as often as I can, and after what befell our friends, I was taken by the urge to visit again. It's difficult to explain.
Here he is, my lady.
Gabu, it's been too long.
I'm afraid there's been no change. If he can see or hear us, he has given no sign.
I see. You're still fighting. I'm proud of you. We promised that we would come and visit you together, didn't we? Alphino and I. I'm sorry that we haven't managed that yet. You know, with the three of us like this, does it not remind you of that night? Of the stars beyond count twinkling in the heavens? I was feeling pretty low back then. Powerless. But I knew that my brother was close by if I needed him, and that the others would be waiting for me back at the Rising Stones. Not like now. I've seen my share of trouble since coming to Eorzea. Been reminded again and again of my limitations, of how little I can change about this world. And I've come to know the sorrow of parting all too well. But to have the people I hold dear struck down before my eyes, and be powerless to help them, that I cannot bear.
You still have me. You don't have to bear this burden alone. You don't have to bear this burden alone.
No, I don't. You're right. It's pure arrogance to imagine I can solve everything by myself. You'd think I'd have learned that by now. Thank you. I don't know what I'd do without you. Well, that's more than enough brooding for one day. Come on. We have friends to save.
Let's return to the Rising Stones and take it from there. Thanks again for agreeing to come. It meant a lot to me. That was sweet. What I do really like about these games is how we do get like this one-on-one time, at least with the twins that we do. We've had a lot of character development with Alphinaud, but now it looks like we're moving on to Alize. and I really do like that. I know there are a lot of complaints out there about people not liking Alphinaud at the very least, but I don't know, I just really like them. Make no mistake, I thought that Alphinaud was really, really annoying back in A Realm Reborn, but they really made a lot of changes to his character since then. I did some thinking on the way back, and I think Hori is right. We need to seek outside help. Ordinarily, we would turn to our own experts on such matters, but they're both among the stricken. I will begin by reaching out to the Maedid guilds and research institutions here in Eorzea. Additionally, Grandfather and Menphilia had a wealth of connections between them, and I mean to explore those avenues too. We'll find a way to save everyone, mark my words. Much and more has happened in recent days, some of it for the good, some not so, but all around me people continue their fight. From the shinobi who search for Alphinaud to the Alliance members who make ready to move against the Empire, they march on in the face of great adversity, bearing heavy burdens. Everyone is playing their part, and so must I. You have your own part to play, I know, and it's bigger than most, so I won't keep you. Just promise that you'll visit from time to time. And I promise I'll have good tidings to share with you when you do. And that's the end to Preludes in Violet. What's happening now? Another cutscene. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace. Oh, now you know this is going to be good.
The Populares no longer present an obstacle. Now is the time to bring the Empire's might to bear. A word from your radiance is all it takes. But one word, and the Imperial army will fall upon Ala Mhigo as a pack of bloodthirsty wolves and tear that feeble nation apart. Have you no words for me? Despite the lengths I go to, an emissary playing the part of a fool. When first I took this face, I swore to use all of my knowledge, all of my power, to further the cause of the Empire. My deeds stand testament to my commitment. And with this adamant flesh at my disposal, I could destroy the Icon Slayer as easily as one might swat a fly. Why do you hesitate? Our enemy is resourceful. Though victory is certain now, it will not remain so indefinitely. Deliberate if you must, but be quick about it. We'll speak again when you have unburdened yourself of doubt. Until then, I take my leave, Father.
I should be the one to sigh. I played my part to perfection. I had earned my rest, and then, thanks to Lahabrea's crowning act of idiocy, our favorite emissary sees fit to summon me back. Elidibus was ever a warrior. A most tiresome trait, would you not agree? What? Have you no words for me either? No matter. I've long grown weary of this mummery. Now, my dearest grandson, let me remind you of your place in the simplest of terms. You do not make judgments, you administer them. Swiftly and to the letter. Naught else is your concern. Elidibus may be an insufferable bore, but he is no fool. His choices as emissary seldom err. If aught threatens the balance twixt light and dark, it falls to you to remove it. Be it by your own hands or by your armies, you have ample means at your disposal. That is why this empire exists, why I built it. Oh dear, have I touched a nerve? You always were an easy one to read. I pity you, I do. As they say, ignorance is bliss. And I know how much happier you would be not knowing the things you know. The founding father was an Ascian, and he created the Empire solely for the purpose of sowing the seeds of chaos. Don't take it personally. I merely do my duty. To bring about a calamity requires no small amount of power, and there is no surer way to obtain such power than by collecting powerful pawns. To that end, I have labored long and hard, and I must say I am quite pleased with my handiwork, paltry though it seems in comparison to Alag.
You fiends are overfond of your own voices. Mark me, Ascian. Man is the master of his own destiny.
Such a waste of time and energy, both yours and mine. Lest you forget, you are Emperor now. If you wish to spout drivel about man's destiny, save it for the masses. It will serve to give them a sense of purpose, and you pliant pieces for the game. Oh, do stop sulking, boy. You, of all people, should understand. Ours is a struggle to restore both mankind and the world to their rightful state. Viewed thus, our goals are one and the same.
That was intense. And who would have thought? An Ascian, you gotta be kidding me. Meanwhile, at a resistance encampment somewhere in the Empire. What now? Oh, there you are. It's been a while since we saw them. I noticed Maxima's missing. What in the world? Dead. All dead. Yet I see no wounds, nor any evidence of battle. Damn them. They finally used it. The Empire developed an alchemical weapon in Girobania, a gas. Black Rose it was called, and to breathe it is to breathe your last. And that did this? I thought the project abandoned, and its vile fruit destroyed, but naught else could have wrought such an atrocity. Fools, what do they hope to gain with this butchery? Can they not see that a rule won through terror will not endure? How many more provinces must they lose? Nay, wait. This is not the work of men, but monsters, the Ascians. It cannot be a coincidence that their trail led us here. Their objective was never to rule, but to sow strife and discord. Such a crime does indeed bear the mark of the bringers of chaos. Black Rose cannot be allowed to kill again. We must find the Ascians and put an end to their plot. And the plot thickens. A history of Violet. As antecedent, Minfilia fostered connections with numerous scholars and research organizations. There's the Professor Eric and Lambert, the scholars of the Sons of St. Conarch, the Mead Guilds of Eorzea, the Council, the list goes on. Owing to her foresight, we may have many allies to which we might turn in this dark hour. Minfilia might not have stood upon the front lines like some of us, but without her work the Scions could not function half as well. There's a lot I can learn from her. Really. Well, that's it for now. I hope you all enjoyed it. And we just have the Preludes to Violet title. That's it for now, and I'll see you next time.